This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan. John will be joining us, or Join will be joining us. He'll be joining us.
Yeah,
right?
he'll be joining. We'll be joining him in a minute.
Yes,
here.
because the primary is big news today, but also with the formidable weather that might be coming our way. And John's going to talk about that right now. John?
Yeah, it's going to be coming our way. The good news is that we still have a tropical depression 9, down to the south of us. But all forecast models are in agreement that as this system lifts to the north starting today, it's going to start a rapid intensification. And by the time we get to, later tomorrow afternoon or into Thursday, we're going to have a 50, 60 mile per hour tropical storm sitting out in the Gulf. So that's going to produce some fairly good swell action across our area waters, I think. Today might be a great day if you have not already done so and you own a boat anchored in the water right along the coastline to just check it. Make sure that those anchor lines are taut and that you have the hatches closed, the bimini removed, that sort of thing. You know what to do. You don't want a repeat of what we saw with Colin. And remember Debbie even further back when we had a lot of boats that swamped. And it's just a tropical storm, but still, it can pack a punch with that sort of thing. A lot of rain showers out here in Gulf waters, and all of that's going to drift slowly to the north over our area. I think rainfall will be our major concern, not so much winds as it will be. You know, you can get up to 7 inches of rainfall before it's all said and done by the end of the week. We have some showers out in Gulf waters right now, but that's not going to be a big issue for your morning commute. Morning commute looks dry. Most of the day today should be A-OK with a few passing showers later in the afternoon. Weather will start deteriorating tonight. We'll talk all about the forecast in just a few. Back to you guys.
Thanks for joining us, Join. And taking a look at weather, everything is moving along nicely in Manatee County. No problems there. And just about an hour, the polls will open, so I'm sure traffic will pick up a little bit. But right now, everything's cruising along. No accidents or delays. And as you head down into Sarasota County, that, too, is looking good this morning. A little bit of a heavy volume coming off of the Longboat Key there, but otherwise, everything looks pretty good this morning. And as we've been talking about, just an hour away now from the start of the primary election here in Florida, with the polls set to open about 57 minutes.
Yeah, and several important races are on the ballot today, including the closely watched U.S. Senate race. 4 Republicans and 5 Democrats are competing for spots on the general election. Incumbent Republican Marco Rubio and Democratic Representatives Alan Grayson and Patrick Murphy are the most well-known names on each party's ballot, but they face resilient challengers. Voters will also make a decision about the Amendment 4, the solar device tax exemption. This measure would exempt the assessed value of solar and renewable energy devices installed on businesses and industrial properties for 20 years.
Now, we've already seen a strong voter turnout for the Florida primary elections.
Yeah, in Manatee County alone, unofficial early voting totals are close to 5,000. In Sarasota County, nearly 10,000, which is about 3,000 more votes than in the 2012 and 2014 primary elections. And volunteers have been keeping busy this week counting the absentee ballots and getting equipment ready for the polling locations today.
We've got some local races that are really important. Our state Senate race for both the Democrats and the Republicans, and our school board race is drawing a lot of attention. You know, we're electing county commissioners. There's some important things on our ballot.
And before heading out to vote today, make sure to check where your voting precinct is. Sarasota County just made some last-minute changes. For both Sarasota and Manatee County voters, we've put links for you for that information on our website, mysuncoast.com. Just look for links we mentioned at the bottom of the home page.
Both SCAT and MCAT will be offering free rides today to encourage more people to get out and vote during the primary election. Free rides will be available all day on the fixed routes.
And join us right here on ABC 7, both on air and online at mysuncoast.com for full primary election coverage and results throughout the day. We'll bring you the results of the key state and local races on the ballot. It's just another way that we're here for you.
A town hall meeting will be held today to address the need for more foster families due to the heroin epidemic on the Suncoast. The Safe Children Coalition has seen more parents die from heroin overdoses in the last 2 months than in the last 2 years. leaving many kids without homes and in need of foster parents. So child removal rates in Manatee County are also nearly double the state average. The coalition will hold the meeting tonight from 6 to 8 at the Dream Center on 24th Street East in Bradenton. The meeting is free and open to the public. And Bradenton is one step closer to having a medical marijuana dispensary. According to the Bradenton Herald, the Tallahassee company Trulieve closed on a property yesterday that includes 2 vacant buildings for a proposed dispensary. That property is on 14th Street West near downtown Bradenton. And Trulieve's CEO thinks there's a need for the dispensary in the area. The proposal will still need to go through the planning process before development begins. It would be Trulieve's 5th dispensary in Florida.
Well, some 3 million Americans with life-threatening allergies carry an EpiPen at all times, but they're not cheap. In fact, the price is 6 times more than it was in 2009.
ABC 7's Ray Collins tells us help is on the way, though, including right here on the Suncoast.
My roommate from college, her daughter is very allergic to peanuts. So going on airplanes, going into public areas, anything with peanuts.
Samantha Hobbs knows nearly firsthand how much severe allergy sufferers depend on these little injectors called EpiPens.
It is majorly important for them to have the EpiPen. And they just took her to school in Pennsylvania this past weekend. And that was something they faced when they were updating their EpiPen, that they went with the $700 price tag because they had to have it.
The drug maker Mylan has a near monopoly on the market, and the cost has gone from about $100 to more than $600 over the past 7 years. Get this, hours before a congressional oversight committee launched an investigation into the price increase, the manufacturer announced it would now offer an identical generic drug at half the cost.
We're still, I think, lower than what that is going to be.
Delcy Cushmore is the founder of Canada Med Services on Bee Ridge Road in Sarasota County. She says they just began carrying EpiPens at $182, just $10 over cost. Why so low?
We're doing that because we're really trying to help people who can't afford, who don't have insurance or their insurance won't cover it. And we want to make sure that kids have access to it, and so nobody dies from it because they can't afford to have one.
The EpiPen still requires a doctor's prescription. In the newsroom, Ray Collins, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
A developing story overnight. Deputies with the Manatee County Sheriff's Office are looking for a man in connection to a stabbing at a hotel in Bradenton. Deputies were called to the 600 block of 67th Street Circle East for reports of a stabbing there. They say 25-year-old Nader Youssef and 29-year-old Hugo Arana are visiting on a work trip and were staying in a room together. Arana was reportedly drinking and started swinging a knife at Nader when Nader asked him to quiet down. He then cut him in the arm and stomach. Arana then fled the scene. He is described as a bald Hispanic male with a muscular build with tattoos on his face and arms. He was last seen wearing black shorts, and anyone with information is asked to call the sheriff's office. An attempted murder suspect is now behind bars after being on the run since last Friday. 25-year-old Joseph Herrick is now in police custody thanks to the help of the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. Herrick was wanted in connection to a stabbing on Myrtlewood Road in Northport. Northport police say the victim was stabbed multiple times but is expected to recover. Police also say that Herrick and the victim knew each other. They believe this was an isolated incident. And the Bradenton Fire Department is asking for help in an arson investigation. Firefighters say someone intentionally set an SUV on fire on Woodwinds Lane that we first reported to you yesterday morning on Good Morning Suncoast. When crews responded to the fire, flames were shooting from the engine compartment. They were able to put it out within minutes, and no one was hurt, fortunately, but the fire was ruled as arson, and anyone with information is asked to call the Bradenton Fire Department.
Some homes and businesses in Venice will be without water for several hours tonight. The water will be shut off from 7 o'clock tonight to 6 o'clock tomorrow morning so a contractor can replace a water valve. Nearby affected areas will be required to boil water or use bottled water for drinking and cooking. Some of the affected areas include West Miami Avenue, Harbor Drive South from Venice Avenue to Miami Avenue, and City Hall. You can find a full list of all the areas impacted on our website, which is mysuncoast.com.
With the tropical depression approaching the Suncoast, boaters are being warned to be prepared for an impending storm. Right now, the Bradenton Beach Marine Unit is going around to each of the boats on the Intercoastal, urging them to secure their anchors. Boaters there have reason to be extra careful and cautious. Boats have capsized or even sank during some recent big storms.
Make sure, obviously, their personal flotation devices, to make sure they've got their lines are secure, make sure if the line even looks like it's going to be frayed, get new lines.
We have to be aware of the storms and take action. And especially, too, we haven't had a major storm for 10 years, so a lot of people are a little bit complacent.
Marine officers say they will continue to crack down on unsafe boaters and start ticketing them if they have to. So today is the day to tie up your boat, make sure it's safe. Even it affected the pier over there, the Bridge Street Pier in Anna Maria. So
you got to batten down the hatches.
Exactly. Well, on Siesta Key, the discovery of World War II artifacts ended up costing Sarasota County an extra $1 million.
According to the Herald Tribune, contractors working on the 2-month renourishment project on Turtle Beach began digging up bullets and shell casings in the sand. The bullets are thought to be from the county's days as a military training ground during World War II. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers considered the munitions of explosive concern, so specialists had to be brought in to investigate. About 150 casings and bullets were pulled out during the project. The company claims it slowed work down by nearly 20%, costing them a total of $1.6 billion for the project.
At least we don't have to worry about explosives, though,
Yes.
detonating. Nobody wants
thing,
that.
right?
Can't put a price on that yet.
One thing off the list.
Exactly, that's priceless. So
What time the polls open?
7 a.m., so
7 a.m.
less than an hour now.
Yeah, if you're going to get out there and vote today, if that's your plan, get out there early.
Yeah.
There was a study that was done that said that for every 1 inch of rain you get, you lose 1% of the vote.
Really?
Yeah.
And especially with everyone knowing it's potentially coming.
Yeah, we could lose
Could
2 or
lose a
3%
lot.
of the vote
Yeah.
today, because then we're going to get some storms in the afternoon. We'll talk about that in just a few.
Also, with the Labor Day weekend coming up, you may notice the cost of gas is also on the rise. We'll have more on that story coming up.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half-mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. And all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. Independence U for an independent you.
1-800-350-9872.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them. He's picking up the phone.
Oh, no, not Consolidated Credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Because debt sucks.
Call 800-201-0230. That's 800-201-0230. Call now.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5. Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking at an air temperature coming in at 77 degrees with a dew point of 73. The east-northeast wind continues, and temperatures across the region generally holding in the upper 70s, mid-70s in some places. 75 in Sebring and Lake Placid, Arcadia, Myakka, and Wauchula at 76. But for the most part, uniform temperatures from inland areas to coastal regions because the wind's kind of mixing things up. Heavy rain still over Cuba. There's our circulation. Doesn't look like much on the radar signature, but that's because the radar beam is looking way up in the air to see all of this because the Earth is curved. So you have to point the radar from land-based radars way up in the sky to be able to see those storms over the horizon. So you're only seeing the cloud tops. I'll show you the satellite picture in just a minute. There's some pretty impressive thunderstorm activity out there. Not a lot of rain showers across our region currently. Maybe Arcadia seeing a brief shower or two this morning. But, you know, we'll be dodging those showers throughout the morning, here and there, hit and miss. And then by afternoon, better chance of some more intense coverage and possibly some heavier downpours of rain. We'll watch the rain shower chances increasing as a trough of low pressure drops down from the north and our system lifts into more favorable conditions, probably developing into a tropical storm, slinging its moisture back this way. Some of these storms could be strong, and I think that the amount of rainfall that we receive through Friday is probably going to be the biggest threat around here as we get that moisture into the soil and it becomes saturated and the trees become laden with the heavy rainfall. And we get a gust or two of stronger winds. Possible we could bring down some trees and have some isolated power outages. Also contained within these trees, and I can't minimize this, the possibility of severe weather, even tornadoes possible with a landfalling tropical system, particularly north of Tampa Bay, but we got to keep our eye on it and not rule that out for our area as well. Mostly afternoon thunderstorms around here today. Today should be pretty good if you got to get out there and, you know, take care of that boat and maybe bring in some groceries because you don't want to be out on the roads when the heavy rains are coming our way, or maybe you need to refill prescriptions, whatever, something like that. You got to run errands, do it today. More storms around tomorrow, and then windy and stormy Wednesday night into Thursday. Still a tropical depression, but forecast to become a tropical storm, and a significant tropical storm by tomorrow. 45-mile-an-hour winds increasing to perhaps 65-mile-an-hour winds, then getting into some shear that should drop its speed down a little bit as it makes landfall Thursday afternoon. By Friday, it's out of here. So it's going to be a pretty fast-moving system from Thursday to Friday. It's going to cover a lot of ground. It'll make its closest pass by us probably Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Still, tropical storm force winds have a minimal chance of impacting the Suncoast. Maybe along the immediate coast, about a 30% chance of some of those stronger storms. Still low wind, tropical storm strength winds. Nevertheless, I expect that by later today, we will see some watches or warnings issued for some parts of the state of Florida, and it may include us. We'll see how the Hurricane Center handles that. As that system moves on past, we're left with a pretty decent weekend, though. So that's the good news. Boating is going to get a little rougher. Those seas will start to increase before the winds do. So we'll look for winds gusting tonight at about 25 knots or so. Obviously, things will start deteriorating tomorrow in those thunderstorms moving on shore. 7-day forecast shows those showers and thunderstorms continuing at good chances Wednesday into Thursday, then really pretty rapidly clearing out by the weekend. Back to you.
Thanks so much, John. As far as your commute this morning at 6:19, I'm not seeing too many slowdowns on your roadways. A little slow as you come off the DeSoto Bridge. That's pretty normal. The Green Bridge is completely clear, though, this morning. 41 picking up in volume just a little bit, northbound and southbound around State Road 70. 301 and the interstate are clear in both directions. Sarasota roadways look great. Looks like some cars are getting on the arteries out to 75, but nothing to slow you down this morning. I'm still not seeing crashes or any major delays on any of our roadways. Heading into South Sarasota County, looks like Venice and Northport are completely clear. Well, this morning we focus on a Suncoast community to show you how it was first established and how it's changed over the years.
ABC 7's Linda Carson has a place we call home.
The Amaryllis Park Neighborhood Association was formed in the mid-20s. The area was quite different then. Barbara Langston remembers the main street in Newtown in the 50s and the early 60s.
This was our business area up here. Our post office sat here, Eddie's fruit stand, the town hall was there. Across from the town hall was another convenience store.
Everybody knew everybody, and everybody kept an eye on the kids.
You couldn't get away with anything. We dubbed them the nosy neighbors now, but you know all over it was those nosy neighbors, and they kept you in check.
With good results. She says when integration ended the closeness of the community, the neighborhood association stepped in.
We work on speeding cars in our neighborhood. We work on drug dealing and prostitution. That's working with law enforcement. And that encompasses noise, pollution, neighborhood disputes.
Every Friday we would get together. We called it Enough is Enough. And we started at Janie's Gardens, and we would walk different streets along with the police.
They helped get the Robert L. Taylor Complex, the new Booker High School, and to redesign Fred Atkins Park. But they never forgot the kids. Dorothy Smith's life work has been with children in the community as a teacher and a principal. Now she enjoys her retirement at the Senior Friendship Center at the Robert L. Taylor Complex.
We do craft, we sing, we crochet and knit and see movies, go on field trips.
There's still much to be done in the community.
If we work together, we can do anything working together.
And the main reason Amaryllis Park is a great place to call home?
The closeness of the people in the community and the care that they showed for our neighbors and children and the environment.
The Amaryllis Park neighborhood has been through a lot of changes since it was established in 1925, but those who live here say the reason it has survived it all and is now thriving are the great people who live here. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Linda.
Yes, indeed. And still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
A search is now underway for the suspects involved in a fatal stabbing on an Ivy League campus. We have the latest coming up.
ABC 7's My Suncoast News app is better than ever with a brand new design that's faster and easier to use. Download our free My Suncoast News app on your mobile device at your app store of choice. Powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life.
I'm a lawyer spokesperson. This is an important message for anyone who took the prescription drug Xarelto or Pradaxa and had a serious bleeding event. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered from a serious bleeding event,
call 800-220-8268 immediately.
Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to serious internal bleeding, stroke, and death.
Call 800-220-8268 immediately.
You may be entitled to compensation. Call now for a free consultation.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And andservices.com. andservices.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
US Med has great news for anyone living with diabetes.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, US Med will ship a new glucose meter right to your home.
And shipping is free.
My new meter uses only a speck of blood, so it's less painful than my previous meter.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, you're covered with US Med. We're welcoming new patients, even if your current provider can't supply you anymore.
I don't even have to test on my fingers anymore. I can test on my hand or forearms, and it's more accurate than my old meter.
So call US Med today, and you'll have a choice of 2 great meters.
One that actually speaks your results, or a meter so small it fits on the bottle of strips.
Act now, and US Med will include a free prescription discount card. We'll also send you a free diabetes cookbook. This is your opportunity.
So call US Med today.
You'll be glad you did.
Back at 6:26, and the search goes on for those responsible for the death of a college student in upstate New York over the weekend.
Called a shining light by a former teacher. ABC's Gio Benitez has the details.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a murder mystery rocking an Ivy League school. The search is on for people who stabbed 2 Ithaca College students on Cornell University's campus early Sunday morning, killing one.
I have two patients. Patient number 1, unresponsive, stabbed in the upper left quadrant of the chest.
Police say 19-year-old Anthony Nazaire and a friend, both from Ithaca College, were attending a student-organized party at nearby Cornell when a brawl broke out.
His friend bumped the girl by accident, and he apologized. The both of them apologized. Even my brother apologized.
Police say they do not believe there is any current threat to safety on campus, and they're continuing to investigate what happened.
We've had a lot of videos that have been submitted by folks that were in the area.
And we'll have more on the investigation coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, Ithaca, New York.
Beautiful.
It is. It's just a little too expensive.
Well, we do offer in-store financing.
Well, there's that D word.
The D word?
Yeah, debt. See, financing means we'll have to go into debt, and we don't want to go into debt. And we want to be able to stop when we want to.
We can't do that.
Even you can't do that today.
We can't do that ever.
At Rent-A-Center you can. Go big and pay small this Labor Day. Get an Ashley sofa and love seat set, your choice, just $19.99 a week. Only at Rent-A-Center. Yeah, you can do that.
How do you like your coffee?
I, for one, can't wait for Pumpkin Pie Spice to be back in season. Pumpkin Pie Spice is back in season! I like it international, and I expect to be delighted.
From the moment a puppy comes into the world, the soul of a wolf is also born. And even as adults, they share an evolutionary connection. That's why there's meat-rich, grain-free Blue Wilderness, because inside your dog lives the soul of a wolf.
My dad is my hero, and I wanted to give him a chance to live life and be happy. Granny Nannies has been a huge help. It has contributed to the health and happiness of my dad, for sure.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Download ABC7's free all-new news app at your app store today.
Attention breast cancer survivors. If you experience permanent hair loss or baldness after chemotherapy, you may qualify for a cash award. Thousands of women suffering breast cancer were given a chemotherapy drug without being warned about the possibility of irreversible alopecia. If you or a loved one suffered permanent hair loss after chemotherapy, call 888-622-8732. Time to file a claim is limited. 888-622-8732. That's 888-622-8732.
Attention! This is an important message for anyone who had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to their heart or lungs. Did your IVC filter move, break, or cause organ damage? The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, even death. If you or a loved one suffered serious complications, call IVC Filter Helpline now. You may be entitled to compensation. IVC filters are designed to prevent blood clots. If your IVC filter moved or broke and you suffered heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, or if a loved one died as a result, call IVC Filter Helpline today. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone. Call IVC Filter Helpline now.
Please call 800-897-6764. That is 800-897-6764.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Temperatures on the Suncoast are rising and the deals are hotter than ever during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. You'll feel cooler than ever when you drive away in a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999, or take home a stylish new Jeep Renegade for just $17,999. How about a new 2016 Jeep Patriot for just $14,999? Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Granny Nannies. We've been making house calls for over 25 years. When you need home health care services, there really is no place like home.
Grandma! A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, Donald Trump on the attack, taking on Hillary Clinton's closest aide.
Plus, with the big travel weekend just a few days away, what can you expect to pay at the pump? We have the answer.
Why the Bucs preseason is coming to an end rather earlier than expected.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan, and the Bucs preseason coming to an end earlier because of this ominous weather that's out there, and John's going to tell us all about it right now. John?
Yeah, so far our tropical depression remains just that, tropical depression. Tropical depression number 9 located out in Gulf waters, southern Gulf waters. Forecast still to increase in intensity today, becoming a tropical storm later in the afternoon. 35-mile-an-hour winds, west motion at 7. That remains unchanged. However, the central pressure has dropped, and that's often a signal that the storm is beginning its strengthening process. It's going to move into an area today as it begins to lift north that will be more conducive for development, and the forecast track remains pretty much unchanged. By tomorrow, the conditions will start to deteriorate in terms of the number of storms that we get, the breezier wind conditions, and then by Thursday, that storm system will be making its closest pass by us. We'll talk about what that means to our weather coming up in a few. Big thunderstorms exploding now around the eastern periphery of the storm, the eye out to the west, or at least the center of circulation. And we do have showers out in Gulf waters. That shower activity you see out there will gradually start to fill in across the viewing area, but for the morning hours, we look pretty good. As far as the kind of thunderstorms we expect to see today, non-severe variety. That could change with time. We'll talk all about that coming up in a few.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at Suncoast roadways, which are going to be picking up because of the elections today, the primaries, and also because of school and work. But you see a little building volume on State Road 64 out east, but heading westbound towards downtown Bradenton a little bit. And then also a bit of a backup there on State Road 70 right around the intersection at 301 as you're heading towards 75. But everything else is looking good. No impediments there. Sarasota also is looking good with normal volume for this time of the morning all the way down into South County. No accidents.
Well, topping our news this half hour on the presidential campaign trail, Donald Trump is using a sexting scandal involving a disgraced former congressman to now attack Hillary Clinton.
ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest from Washington.
This morning, Donald Trump is increasing his attacks on Hillary Clinton's closest aide. Huma Abedin announced her split Monday from disgraced former New York Congressman Anthony Weiner, caught up in yet another sexting scandal.
She's married to a guy that is uncontrolled and uncontrollable. He's a sick person, and she has access to classified information.
Abedin released a statement saying, after long and painful consideration and work on my marriage, I have made the decision to separate from my husband. Weiner is back in the tabloids after the New York Post published raunchy pictures allegedly sent by Weiner to a woman identified only as a 40-something divorcee and Trump supporter. Weiner resigned from Congress in 2011 in embarrassment. He accidentally tweeted a lewd photo of himself.
I'm here today to again apologize.
The sexting allegations from several women piled up, but Abedin stayed by her husband's side.
I love him. I have forgiven him. I believe in him.
Their marriage was featured in a documentary on Weiner's scandal and his failed run for New York City mayor in 2013.
It's like living a nightmare.
The relationship and Abedin's closeness to Clinton has been a line of attack for months for Trump. Abedin is also at the center of newly released State Department emails, raising questions about her role in setting up meetings between high-level Clinton Foundation donors and the then Secretary of State. While Donald Trump is responding to Abedin and Weiner's split, Hillary Clinton is not. Abedin, who has been with the Democratic nominee on a fundraising swing in the Hamptons, did not attend any of Clinton's events yesterday. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
In other national news, for the first time in 4 years, students have returned to Sandy Hook Elementary School. The newly refurbished school opens its doors yesterday in Newtown, Connecticut. Children have been attending a nearby school ever since a lone gunman opened fire at Sandy Hook Elementary on December 14, 2012. 26 people were killed, including 20 first graders, and 70 current Sandy Hook students attended the school at the time of the shooting. They're now in 4th grade. The classrooms where the shootings happened are part of an unmarked grassy area in the middle of a parking lot. There currently is not a memorial to the victims inside the new school, but administrators promise there will be one in the future.
In consumer news this morning, thousands of people across the country are taking tests this week to get their commercial drone pilot's license. Before this week, anyone who wanted a commercial drone license had to have a pilot's license, which could carry costs of about $20,000. But the new FAA rules lower those requirements. Drone pilots must pass an aeronautical exam, and drones must be under 55 pounds, stay in view of the operator, and they cannot fly higher than 400 feet. Drone pilots will need a waiver if they want to fly at night. And with tens of thousands of people planning to become legal to fly, transportation officials say it could bring in a lot more money to the economy.
Over the next 10 years, commercial unmanned aircraft systems could generate more than $82 billion for the U.S. economy, and by 2025 could be supporting as many as 100,000 new jobs.
The FAA says the changes could open up opportunities, from rescues to inspecting utility lines to helping farmers check on their crops. And I know they even have classes now at universities to take drones or to learn how to manage drones, or the right way to say it. Fly, your drone. That's the right word. That was an easy word. Why was it so hard to say that? I don't know.
It seems like there's something else you should do with it besides fly. You know? Now, gas prices are back on the rise. The average price of a gallon of regular unleaded gas jumped as much as 14 cents in a matter of days. And of course, a lot of people will be driving for Labor Day, so that might be part of the reason.
Well, ABC 7's Bobeth Yates is telling us that this hike does not seem to be slowing down.
It's not quite pain at the pump just yet, but prices are steadily climbing. But surprisingly, many of the people we spoke to are not concerned.
The all-time low gas prices may soon be no longer.
They've gone up recently, but I remember when gas was above $4 a gallon, so I'm not too unhappy with where it is now.
Despite the positivity, the price of a gallon of gas has risen for 11 consecutive days in Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee. The change is about 15 cents, for an average of about $2.23 for a gallon of regular unleaded. And while the increase may be hard on your wallets, business commentator Richard Stern says there are positives.
The benefits to the oil companies clearly are that they are a big part of our economy in any number of ways. So it really is a positive. A lot of people don't see it that way, but it is a positive for our total economy if these energy companies are doing very well.
Stern says when gas prices were at record lows, mass layoffs occurred and many companies in the industry were operating at a loss. And while there are many positives to gas prices increasing, Stern adds there are also negatives.
No question that as gas prices were falling, people were taking advantage of the extra cash, the extra income, and they were using it to buy discretionary things, including automobiles.
The automobile industry has seen record increases with lower gas prices, and many other retailers also saw bumps. But as the trend of lower gas prices now transition to gas hikes, those at the pump are still optimistic.
It's still a lot less than it was, but I think I don't do a lot of long-distance driving, so for me it hasn't been that big a problem.
To put things into perspective, last year a gallon of regular unleaded gas was $2.32, and 2 years ago it was $3.37. So even though things are increasing, it's still a lot less than previous years. Back to you.
And here's what some of you had to say about the recent raise in prices at the pump. Catherine says on our Facebook, staying home filled up before the increase. Michigan was real good at this game, and I learned how to play the game long ago. And Kevin is writing, fishy. And Billy posted, under $2 a gallon was just too good to be true. You can add your comments to this story and others by going to our Facebook page.
And Colin Kaepernick, the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, making about $750,000 a year, but he's in the eye of the storm not for football. It's because he refused to stand for the national anthem last Friday night before a 49ers game. He says he doesn't want to, quote, show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. He's now facing criticism from fans, fellow athletes, and even politicians because Donald Trump says he doesn't think it's a good idea and the quarterback should find a country that works better for him. White House spokesman Josh Earnest also objected but said the quarterback is free to express his perspective. And Kaepernick, though he did get some high-profile support, a lot of people have been supporting him, especially director Spike Lee.
I support him. I find it so interesting how people want to pick and choose what rights people have.
He says his refusal to stand is a protest against social injustice. The Bucs returning to the practice field yesterday after a 30-13 preseason win over the Cleveland Browns last Friday. The final preseason game is at Raymond James Stadium. It was supposed to be Thursday, but now it has been rescheduled to Wednesday night with the impending weather. As usual with the fourth preseason game, not a lot of starters, not very important for the starters, but rather the people who are trying to make the team and battling for their final spot. So we'll see. And the head coach said, you know, hey, this is what it's all about. Guys trying to make this team. And one of the people who are trying to make his team, ironically enough, Colin Kaepernick, because he's about to lose his starting job and he may not be able to have his protest anymore because he might not have a team to play for, at least the 49ers. Because of football, not because of his protest.
Yeah. Well, let's hope the weather cooperates.
Yeah.
You know, it was a good decision to move the day. It's better than Thursday for sure.
Thursday could be worse.
Yeah, but it could be kind of nasty on Wednesday evening too. We'll see how this progresses and how the storm strengthens. We'll talk about the forecast in a second.
ABC 7's My Suncoast News app is better than ever with a brand new design that's faster and easier to use. Download our free My Suncoast News app on your mobile device at your app store of choice.
Powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life.
A message from the Pulaski Law Firm. You started there right out of high school, learned your trade and did it well. And the asbestos you handled, well, that was just part of the job. If you worked in the trades and were diagnosed with mesothelioma, get the best care available, then call us. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court.
Call 800-236-4994.
And see how we can help. Mesothelioma, don't fight it alone.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
Since 1928, Kerastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Kerastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Welcome back, 2 of my favorite guests, Cash 3 and Play 4.
Surprise! We're pick 3 and pick 4 now.
Whoa!
But we still play exactly the same. We just got a fresh new look.
Speaking of surprises, I have one for you. Say hello to pick 2 and pick 5.
Introducing the complete Pick family of games.
We're family now.
The new Pick 2 and Pick 5 have joined Pick 3 and Pick 4 to give you more choices in your daily gameplay. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Current air temperature 77 degrees, dew point 73. East wind continues at 7. We have a mix of cloud cover and clear sky out there with temperatures generally hovering in the mid-70s most everywhere, a few upper 70s on the boards. And, well, we still have a tropical depression, still not a tropical storm, but it does appear to be strengthening and gathering in organization. Now, this doesn't look like much, I grant you that. But that's because the radar beam is pointed so high in the air that you're really not seeing an accurate representation of what's really going on out here this far from shore. A lot of rain showers over Cuba still. Also, the southern tip of the state getting some pretty good rain showers during the overnight and some pretty big storms over on the other coast moving on shore. We have pretty quiet conditions here locally, though we have a few storms moving across the region in inland areas. Arcadia seeing some light to moderate rainfall there. The showers you see off the coast are going to stay off the coast. Throughout the morning hours, we have a chance of seeing some rain move through here. Rapidly moving storms coming from east to west across the region, but it's by afternoon when we're likely to see the heavier storms. And then tomorrow, those rain showers that dot our landscape today are going to fill in. And we're going to have steadier rainfall tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening through Thursday, some gusty winds possible, as well as some very heavy downpours of rain. Tropical Depression 9 lifts north, becomes a tropical storm. We'll watch that move out into central Gulf waters where conditions will be favorable for further development. And then that frontal boundary to the north will pick it up, hook it back toward the coastline, and we'll see it move on shore. Mostly afternoon storms for us today. Should be a fairly decent day if you want to go out to the grocery store, maybe get a little bit of food, or perhaps you need to restock your batteries, head to the pharmacy. Whatever chores you think you need to do in the next couple of days should probably be done today if you want to stay off the roads during the heaviest of the rain. We'll look for more storms coming our way tomorrow, and then windy and stormy into Thursday afternoon. And then by probably Friday, it'll all be gone. The low pressure area lifts north. It becomes a tropical storm. Probably has winds in excess of 60 miles an hour at its maximum, maybe 65 miles an hour or so, and then kind of decreases in strength a little bit Thursday afternoon as it makes landfall up around the Big Bend region. We're out of the cone, but don't be too focused on the cone, because a lot of the effects of this storm, for us anyway, will be felt far away from the center line. So don't focus too much on that center line. Our issues are going to come in a variety of forms. Heavy thunderstorm activity, the possibility of some isolated tornadoes, though most of that will occur to our north, and the potential for some very heavy rainfall with excess of perhaps 6 to 7 inches by the time it's all said and done in a couple of days. East wind coming in at about 15 knots, turning southeast, becoming gusty this evening. Rip current issues will be also on our area beaches, and small craft advisories will undoubtedly be issued. We may see a watch issued for our area later today, possibly. Certainly some parts of the state of Florida will see a watch or warning issued by the end of the day today. And then windy, breezy, heavy rainfall Wednesday, Thursday, clearing out for the weekend. Back to you.
Thanks, John. Taking a look at the roadways at 649 in Manatee County. We're seeing a little bit of a slowdown right now on the Green Bridge, heading south from Palmetto as you head towards Bradenton. Also a little slow on 301 this morning, but that's nothing to cause too much of a delay for your commute to work or school. No accidents there to report. Even in Sarasota, I'm not seeing any accidents, just a little slow southbound from Fruitville down 41 into South Sarasota County. No accidents even into Venice or Northport. The interstate is free and clear, and so are those arteries out to 75. Well, a new test could help some patients diagnosed with breast cancer avoid chemotherapy without it hurting their chance of survival.
According to a study published in the New England Journal of Medicine, chemotherapy may be ineffective for nearly half of women who are in the early stages of breast cancer. The study used mammoprint tests, which really costs several $1,000s and is not always covered by insurance. In entertainment news, very sad news, Gene Wilder, known for his roles like Willy Wonka and the neurotic accountant in The Producers, also in Silver Streak and paired with Richard Pryor on many movies, passed away yesterday. His family says he died Sunday due to complications from Alzheimer's disease. He started his career on stage where he met Mel Brooks, and soon the two began collaborating on classics such as Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein. Wilder worked mostly in television in recent years, including appearances on Will and Grace, including one that earned him an Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actor in a starring role in the short-lived sitcom Something Wilder. He is survived by his wife now, Karen, and his daughter from previous marriage. He was 83 years old, but is most known, I think, for his marriage to Gilda Radner, who died from ovarian cancer, and they were an unbelievable couple. They really were. And I first saw him in Silver Streak. He was amazing.
And I loved him in Willy Wonka. I mean, he's a legend from that movie.
He had so many
Classic.
different facets. It was amazing.
He'll be missed. Well, stay with us.
And we'll be right back.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Now is your golden opportunity to lease a new 2016 Lexus ES350 for only $329, or enjoy 0.9% APR, just $329, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you. ABC7 News at 7, weeknights.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. And all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. Independence U for an independent you.
1-800-350-9872.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Now is your golden opportunity to lease the bold new 2016 Lexus RX 350 for only $419, or enjoy 1.9% APR, just $419, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
We're seeing normal buildup on the roadways this morning, especially over the Green Bridge southbound and at 301 and State Road 70. Just some slowdowns there. No accidents, though, on the interstate or on 41. All clear in Sarasota. And as you head down into South County, same story. It's a great commute for you this morning.
So probably this morning and into the afternoon, a 20 to 30% chance of showers or thunderstorms. But then by later in the afternoon, that bumps up to about 60%. So if you got some errands to run, you might want to do them this morning, or if you want to prep your boat, whatever you need to do to get ready for more numerous showers and thunderstorms and some breezy conditions, even windy conditions, Wednesday and Thursday as our storm approaches and moves on shore in the Big Bend region. By the weekend, everything should clear out.
Thank you, John. A 16-year-old looking to follow in her father's footsteps. Jeff Vogt has been a pilot with Southwest Airlines for 21 years. He got the job when he gained attention for making his cover letter out of a crop circle. Now, with a 16-year-old daughter, Vogt told her about the shortage in pilots and how she could probably have a job like his pretty soon. So she started learning how to fly a few months ago and is now flying solo. Her dad says it was the greatest day of his life watching her fly. I'm sure he had tears in his eyes. His daughter says she hopes to fly with her dad as a pilot for Southwest someday to complete that crop circle or the circle of love.
Must be an incredible feeling to be able to fly. You know you're doing it all by yourself.
Yes, indeed. But
One you want to check off the bucket list.
Yeah. Oh, I hear it's great, but I'm sorry to interrupt. But vote early is the basic thing before the rains come. You say voting opens in 4 minutes.
Work.
Absolutely. I would do that. You know, as I mentioned, there was that study that showed for every inch of rain, you have a 1% decrease in turnout.
We'll get to the polls. Have a great morning.